It's so ridiculously easy to become a millionaire, especially in this day and age. You people got to realize there's money everywhere. This has never been a quicker or a better time to become rich, because high ticket services are everywhere and there's just more and more people who are getting online. So yes, it does make sense that becoming a millionaire is so easy, especially in this day and age. Especially how people like me obviously run their personal brands, run like agencies, and we just keep posting content, start running ads, like you'll see it in a little bit. And yeah, just basically have like a full force of action, full force, it is so easy, just because as what everyone's saying at the moment, it is literally just an attention game. Everyone is literally out there posting. There is businesses making over $5 million a month, and yet you're sitting here at home thinking that it's hard to become rich. And you just got to realize that anyone just like you and me, I didn't become rich. I never came from a wealthy upbringing. I had two working parents. All my parents did was just work when I was younger. So that obviously gave me the good backbone and obviously understanding of what I need to do, how I need to get there. They're not, but yeah, like it is so ridiculously easy. Like I made my way through running a marketing agency because what I do is love content, love talking. As you can obviously see by these videos, they're like 20 minutes long. There's probably going to be a few long form videos, and yeah, content, ads, copy, and understanding like people and psychology. That is my bread and butter. That has always been my bread and butter. So yeah, as I said, like obviously once you start to understand that, then you can start to apply it for, obviously once you start doing content, once you start understanding your correct ICP. I just had a Red Bull, so I'm just burping a little bit, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like there are so many people out there, it is absolutely ridiculous for you not to be rich in this day and age. Hey, I'm only 21 and I'm literally just going to be making the most amount of money in my life just because I took a risk on something, just because I wanted to take every single opportunity that came my way. I wanted to try something, so I made it happen. Like even like I first started off with doing cold calls. Like obviously I still got a lot to learn when it comes to cold calls and sales, but obviously, and I do have a bit of a background in that, but that's what I had to do to make money. And also like at the moment, like I'm speaking to a prospect at the moment and he's just like, okay, cool. You've been posting a little bit here. Let me just send you a proposal after one voice note. And it's like, hey, we're looking for this. Send your proposal. I'll be charging about 4 or 5K a month. That's not including ad spend, but do you see what I mean? Just because I decided to send one message on LinkedIn, I decided to put in the effort early. It just becomes so easy. And obviously once you start hiring, once you start worrying about employees, but you guys do not have to worry about that yet. You guys just have to worry about just getting out of your jobs, starting to actually build your dream life. And obviously because now you're watching this video, you want to build a marketing agency. So marketing agencies are the best agencies in the world because it literally teaches you how to grab attention and then convert that to cash, whether it's over a month, whether it's over a day, whether over a second. Like you get what I mean? Like people have different times in the buying cycle, whether it's 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years down the track. People are still going to be interested in buying. That's why we post content. That's why I do YouTube. That's why I run ads, because at least you actually get yourself in front of someone who's like, okay, cool, I might actually know this person. And then, you just keep on building that relationship with that person until they end up buying, or like, okay, cool, this isn't for me. Or they even talk to the sales rep and be like, okay, hey mate, this isn't for you. I was, want to end it on good terms, or we just keep in contact. But you get what the point I'm saying. You have so many potential opportunities. That is the one thing that you guys realize in the modern day. There are so many opportunities out there. There are so many ways to make money. There are so many ways for you guys to get access to just being able to leave your job, being able to, create that dream life that you wanted. Like, as I said, I'm running ads soon. So it's like freedom. That's for my business. I'm running ads soon, my business. So it's just more element of freedom. Obviously the 25K, it's all right. And obviously doing like 6 figures a year, still there. It's like, I'm not even playing with the big players yet. I'm just, I'm literally just a kid, but that's also my biggest strength because I may be new to the game, but also I adapt quickly. I get used to AI. Like you saw in my story over the last day, like I'm using AI for some new features that are coming in. You guys will know about it in a little bit, but I'm building stuff out. I'm building out systems. I'm building out and integrating all this little stuff, like softwares, like a bit of AI, like everything I have access to, just to maximize what I want to do for my clients, what I want to do for you guys, and how I can make it as easy as possible and with as little resistance as possible for you guys to move forward. That's the joys of a marketing offer. As I said, marketing is by far the most powerful skill out there, because as I said, create one piece of content and then it gets access to 500, 2,000, however many people, and then they just nurture. Keep on sending them content assets, keep on helping them out so then they can move forward. And obviously your job as a marketer is to make people more money. So how do we do that? We do that through copy, paid ads, and obviously building relationships with our customers. How can we make that as easy as possible? How can we lower down the resistance as much as possible to make that journey just a lot smoother, just to make that journey obviously with the landing pages, and just increasing the CTR, increasing the number of clicks, increasing the number of people who want to click on that video. And yeah, you might call me crazy, but once you start charging high ticket or even a high ticket monthly, it just becomes an absolute joke. Becoming a millionaire just becomes literally that easy. Obviously, you got to put in all the hard work, you got to put in the effort, you got to learn your skill set, you've got to become better. And as what Sabri Subri said, it's literally just you're going up, then you got to decrease. You're going up again, you got to drop. Just because you're learning new skills and you're okay, cool, well, I've mastered this skill, now I've got to restart back again. But with this prior knowledge and this experience, I can then start to move up, then I can move down, then I can move up, then I can move down, then I can move up, then I can move down. That should be your life. That should be your business, because, as I said, every single time you feel like you've maximized out a skill you have, or obviously there's still a bunch you need to learn, because there's people who've been doing that skill for 30, 50 years, or even you get what I'm trying to say. People have been doing that skill for ages, and they just all they do is just spend their time and energy on it, obviously getting that little 1%. And as I said, it makes sense for you to change that, so then you can actually over leverage your skill set more. So it's instead of getting a 1.1 times multiplier, you're better off getting a 3 times or a 5 times, just because you learned another skill that coexists, or that actually has a good relationship with that skill, that grows and becomes way more powerful. Obviously, as I said, marketing is by far the best skill out there. If you guys want to learn and actually run a successful marketing agency, making 10K a month, and obviously I can work with you guys on a one-on-one coaching, click the link below and I can scale it to 10K a month. But yeah, marketing agencies are the best way of doing it, because it's you and a group of people working with another group of people, trying to advance you forward, trying to continually move you guys forward, trying to help that business obviously continually move forward. And obviously through the skill set of marketing, which is through the copy, which is through the newsletters, which is through the content, paid ads, SEO, you name it. But it helps to increase the number of impressions, the amount of people who are watching it. As I said, also the CTRs, and aka the click-through rates, obviously through the images and through the business. Also with the VSLs, which are one of the most important. And if you want to actually know what a VSL is, just click the link in the description. Then you'll see what a VSL is, and basically what a booking system is for a sales call to get people to convert. But as I said, these are very important skills to have, because you could be leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table if you don't have that skill optimized. Obviously not maximized, because you cannot get every single person to convert. You can increase the number of people who are going to convert, but you cannot increase the percentage to let's say 99% or 100%, whatever, because that's virtually impossible unless it's over 100, unless it's Coca-Cola, because I don't know anyone who hasn't had Coca-Cola before, or even let's just say a coffee company. I don't know anyone who doesn't drink coffee. But you get what I'm trying to say. Unless you've got a super long-term thing that you're going to be doing with the company that you're trying to grow, or the business that you have partnered with, because you're essentially a growth op, because you're trying to actually grow the operations, increase the systems, make everything go further and further. Essentially a growth partner. because you and the business owner both have the same needs, the same ones. You guys both want to get paid more. You obviously could do different stuff like take a cut, whatever. You can work out all the payment plans. Obviously, we can worry about that later once we've ended up working together. But the point is, it is practically limitless. And also another important thing is, like, obviously, as I said, like, becoming a millionaire is so easy. You can literally just steal, like, I remember Alex Hormozy saying, literally just, I think it's like McKinley or something like that. It's like a consulting group. Basically take this spreadsheet, or take their documents, use all the data, and then apply it to the industry, because they've got it from like the top 100, the top 10, and obviously they know what they're doing well, know what they're not, and then you can just apply it. Obviously, once you learn the skill of marketing, which is by far the most important thing you can do. But once you understand that, you can get a better understanding of your client, better understanding of their pain, their problems, where they want to get to, how they want to live their life. What does a day in their life look like? What do they take the kids to school at, let's just say 7 o'clock, or do they take the kids to school at 8:30? It all matters, because this is when you're going to be playing your content, where you're going to release your ads. What reels are you going to do? How are you going to position that offer? How are you going to make it more, how are you going to make it more, like, you can't say no to it, like like an offer you can't say no to. Like, let's just say, for example, in the fitness niche, let's just say get a six pack of abs in 30 days. Let me just make it more for a bit of a different ICP. So let's just say stay-at-home dads. I can help you get a 6-pack of abs within 6 weeks. Otherwise, we work with you for free until you do. And like, let's just say, for example, I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't even know. I was just giving you examples, but obviously you add more and more layers to it. The more and more you have that offer creation, as I said, you make people want to say no. Make people like an irresistible offer. Make sure people can't say no to it. That's what I mean. Like, offer creation, positioning is by far some of the most important things. Obviously, stuff you'll learn later on, and like, it is by far one of the most important things you can do. As I said, the importance of offer creation. And obviously, once you start doing it, let's just say, because generally most businesses that are successful do between 50 to about 500k a month, which is between the semi-successful range, in my opinion. Obviously, any like proper successful business does between $5 to $2 million a month, but that's a whole nother ball game. We are not going to worry about that. We are only playing the little leagues at the moment, so we just got to pay attention to that. We aren't playing with like we aren't playing with the banks. We aren't playing with any of those major players just yet. But the point is that if some random Joe on the street can make like 50k a month just by understanding what to do, what to say, how to position himself, why can't you? And you know why I'm saying a millionaire is like so easy. There's so much cash out there. There's like 11, I think there's like 11, oh no, it's billion. There's like a lot more millionaires than what there ever was. There's going to be a lot more millionaires in the near future. And also, another thing I got to mention is that you guys got to realize, like, they're starting with more stuff behind the scenes. I can't say this stuff on YouTube, but they're starting with more stuff behind the scenes, which is not going to put you in the best position long term. Just think where your money's at. That's all I got to say. Just think where your money's at and how can they control you from that. Just got to say, just saying, you can't shoot the messenger. I just told you the truth, but it makes more sense for you to be able to get out, because then you can start to put your family in a better position. You can use your skill set to make like $5, $10, $15, $20,000 a month. That's the point that I'm getting at. That is the point I'm getting at. That you can make your family free, you can make yourself free, you can then just literally move everyone else forward. And as I said, like 100 grand a month is like pennies in the grand scheme of things. That's just my point of view. Obviously you guys have a completely different point of view, because that's some of your mortgages, some of your houses, you know, like a lot of you people think that's a lot of money, but as I said, there's billionaires. Even Elon Musk is almost a trillionaire at this point. So, you know, 100,000 is like around about what he makes in a couple of hours, or, you know, Obviously, it's not legitimately how much he makes, otherwise the company would be bankrupt, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But the point that I'm getting at is becoming a millionaire is so easy, especially in regards to the online age, especially in regards to social media, YouTube, getting access to LinkedIn, emails, all this sort of stuff. It is so easy. And obviously when it comes to paid ads, you get so many more impressions, but it is so much easier than what it was 100 years ago. So why don't you become a millionaire now and actually escape while you get the chance? Why don't you decide to take action now, learn the most profitable skill on the planet, which is marketing. You'll never be broke again, literally, just because you understand what you need to say, how you need to position it, and how you need to spend your money for ads. And yeah. But the point that I'm getting at is marketing is the best skill on the planet. You should learn it today. Obviously, I've got one-on-one coaching, which I'll help you scale to 10K a month for 3 months. So click the link in the description below. If not, if I was you guys, you should really watch the video of, hold on, let me just grab it. You know how like unorganized I am when I'm just literally grabbing it on my phone. Hold up. Obviously, look at this nature as well. It is, I know it's a bit of a swampland, but it is so like nice in like a good sort of way, even though it's humid as. But what I'm saying is, hold on, let me just move that down a little bit. You should watch this next video over here. The reality of making 25K a month at the age of 21. But yeah, if I was you, I'd watch that, learn everything you can, and then watch the video after that. But yeah, just watch that, understand reality. You can sort of get the sort of reality surfing, or if that's what the book's called, like sort of way, because it all changes based on your mind. But watch this video over here. The reality of making 25K a month at 21, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.